Closing this evening out, I've asked Chris Gould, who's my friend and my boss and my really biggest supporter. Thank you. When I came to work at Salem a couple of years ago, it was a pretty low point. I came to him, I said, Chris, I need a job. He said, we don't do that at Salem. We have careers here. And he gave me a microphone, and I said, ooh, this is good. I like it. I like this. And we've developed this. I had my heart set on the Peak, and they don't just, and I've learned this, just don't, give you airtime during the week. That's for people that are national. I said, but we got to have local. We got to do local. He said, okay, let's try it out. And a year later, we're here. And what's been going on that, a lot in broadcasting and radio and all over is it's been shrinking. But Salem is so committed to local, because it really should be local. And when we bring in all these guests that come in for the Peak and these interns, these young people that are coming in, I see Chris come out, he's smiling, and he's loving what's going on there. And so I've asked him to speak about a vision for community and how the local media really needs to play that role. But unfortunately, Salem's close to only one doing it still here in our area. So Chris Gould, Senior VP of Salem National Programming and also the GM here in Colorado Springs.
Well, it's a joy to be here with you. I am super excited to introduce my wife, Michelle, right here in the front row. Thank you. And, I first met Hein he said 2 years ago. I think it was more like about 3 years ago. And we went to lunch at the View House. I've only been there 197 times in the last year. I mean, it's like lunch, Salem cafeteria, right near the studios. And Hein told me he wanted a local radio show, and I went over all the different options he had through Salem, online, on air, email, podcast, everything. I said, what is it that you want to do? He said, I want to do it all. He said, I want to do it all. I said, well, I don't think you're going to be able, you don't have the capacity to do it all. But I'll tell you what, he has really surprised me these last couple of years. This guy works like a workhorse. He is incredible. Up early, stays late. I mean, he is on it. He has given so much effort. I'm so impressed with Hein Goldman, his wife Kim, and their whole entire family. I just want to say thank you to you and all this effort over these last few years. Hein, you should be commended. You should be commended. And just a word about Jeff Crank, right? Jeff Crank said that he's been recording his podcast at our studios the last couple of years. You know how he came to Salem? He was fired by Cumulus because he wouldn't take the shot. He wouldn't take the shot. And they fired him, and we hired him. I was like, are you guys nuts? Like, that is the stupidest decision. Why would you fire a guy? Then they fired his producer, Matt West. I hired him. I'm like, this guy's a genius. This guy's a master production guy. Phenomenal. Jeff Anderson, is Matt West phenomenal? Unbelievable. Both of them fired by this massive media company because they didn't take the shot. I mean, it's like, thank you, Lord. It's just like, put it right in my lap. I mean, I'm bright average on a good day. But I mean, that was a no-brainer to hire them. And Heidi, by the way, you have a future on the radio. We have to talk. That was amazing. No. I think you got a future on the radio. I've seen a lot of changes. Yeah, I mean, give her a hand. You're amazing. We voted for you. Yeah, I mean, look, I've seen a lot of changes in the last, I've been in media 40 years. I was 11 when I was the 105th caller, and I won $105 when I was 11. I heard my voice on the radio. Who do we got on the air here? I'm Chris Gould from Southborough, Massachusetts. Chris, you're a winner, $105. Woo, woo. I got to school the next day, right? 5th grade. Everyone was like, Gouldy, we heard you on the radio. That was unbelievable. Woo, high-fiving people. And it's like I was just bit right there on the power of broadcast radio. Still the most powerful medium. Now, there's a lot that's happened, and we love podcasting, and we love online, we love digital, Facebook, media, X, blah, blah, blah. But the power of broadcast radio is still the most personal, intimate media. It's live and local. That's why we love the Peak. Live and local. And so I want to give my unmitigated endorsement for what Chaim is trying to do here, because it is super powerful. I mean, you have all felt the shifting sand underneath our feet with what just happened in this last election. I mean, we were all kind of hoping it was going to go this way, but the way it has gone has been back to the people. Back to the people, and that's why we voted the way we did, because we wanted it back to what we want, not what bureaucrats want. And when it comes to local, that's what we have. So in the Peak Foundation, we have the opportunity to connect with the local community in a way that we wouldn't normally connect. And then we have the opportunity to connect with interns in a way that we normally would not connect. And this girl who's been doing this, the auction, where's Mary Louise? Just raise your hand. Your son, stand up. Your son is amazing. Yeah, James Fiddler is amazing. We hired him after he served as an intern, and you should be commended for the way you raised that fine young man. I'd say give her a big hand. You raise your kids, and they make it like that, you should be commended, you and your husband. God bless you guys. What happens if the media is just not actually part of the local community? We think that media needs to be part of the local community. That's where it has to be. Live and local content. Conversation about what's going on in our community. And so that's what the Peak is doing, and I kind of sense the room. I just want your, hey, eyes all on me just for a second, okay? Just for a second, look up this way. Sir, your back is to me. Turn around, would you please? This is very important. Media is the way to reach and impact people. There is nothing more important than the power of the media. Now, you might say, oh, it's the gospel. Well, we have a station for that, and we deliver the gospel, and we believe in the power of the gospel. But the ability to reach people with the truth through broadcast, there's nothing more powerful. You can't reach more people. You can put it on YouTube, you can put it online, but when you put it on the radio and it goes out over all of these areas, God uses it. And it never returns void. It always accomplishes the purpose. So when we're talking about important issues, and Chaim's got an issue, and he brings it up on the radio program, we get calls, we get emails, we get Facebook posts, and we can feel kind of the amplification happening. So that's what we want to do. Salem wants to turn up the amplification of the message of the people in this community. That's what we want to do. We just want to take the message that this community wants to transfer to people, and we want to turn it up. We want to turn it up, and with people like Chaim, I'll tell you what, you hear Chaim on the radio, you kind of lean in a little bit and turn the radio up. You lean in. And so it's our joy to partner with him. We think that this has a lot of legs. I told him, I said, I could see you on in Denver soon. We have stations in Denver. I don't see any reason why you couldn't become a national talk show host at some point. And if we all get behind this and make it work, I think that can happen. I really think it can happen. By the way, there's an email that goes out to all of our producers and talk show hosts every day with all the issues of the day. What happened, what executive order was signed yesterday, what does it mean, and then all the media contacts if you want to talk to somebody. Anything to do with Israel, across the whole entire country, it says call Hein Goldman. So that's just the beginning. That's just like him as a subject matter expert. But someday I think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see Hein on a national platform. So it's my joy to bless you, honor you, and support you in your effort. And so, Hein, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Chris.
KBIQ. It's completely uplifting.
It always puts a smile on my face.
Chris, did you want to say anything about Q? Did you cover that? Because we got a video we wanted to play. Nobody wanted to?
Well, tomorrow is the last day for KBIQ. We've been on here in Colorado Springs for over 30 years. Great radio station. We bought it in 1996. And we sold it to EMF, Educational Media Fund. So Christian music is still going to flow on KBIQ Saturday morning. It just won't be from us and your local host, Bretton Taylor, and all the other folks. Lance spent there 26 years. Sad day for us from that point of view, but we're really grateful. It was intentional that we sold it to a company that was going to continue with Christian music. If it was sports talk or rhythmic AC, I kind of would have been very disappointed. But Christian music's going to continue. Salem's out of debt because we sold that station, Atlanta, LA, Dallas, Sacto, Portland, and Cleveland, and Colorado Springs. So the good news for Salem, we're out of debt completely. Thank you. I remember when we were first married and we had a bunch of debt. We just labeled all those credit cards. We just started paying them from the smallest one to the biggest one. And when we paid off all that debt, it was a great feeling. So we're really grateful for that. No more debt. And excited about the future of our company in the talk format. Conservative talk and Christian talk. So that's it.
So we build from there. We build from here. And Z, which is the station the Peak is on, I think it can be the best news talk in town. And I want you to all start listening to it. If you don't know it, AM 1460 and FM 101.1, The Answer. So tune into that. Listen to the host. It's mostly national hosts, but I keep bugging Chris. I want more local. We want more local. And I hope that we do.